Demonstration, feel free to come in so you can hear me good. We're just going to give a little demonstration of what not to do with the fire on your stovetop, okay? Anyone who does any frying with grease in your kitchen, raise your hand. Keep your hand up if you use the same pan of grease over multiple meals, multiple days. Anyone? Good. A lot of people will do that. That's a really bad idea. As that oil becomes contaminated over time, it becomes more volatile. It is actually easier to ignite, okay? Fresh oil all the time. Now, if you're doing cooking with grease in your kitchen and your grease starts on fire, someone tell me the worst thing to put on it. What is the worst thing to put on it? How about you? Water, she says. Water and oil don't mix. Raise your hand if you've heard you can put baking soda on it. Or flour. These are all things that I've heard. Sugar, any powder, anything. It's a very bad idea. I can take a cup of flour, which is not flammable, light a lighter, throw that flour in the air, it will burn because it's in powder form, okay? The best thing to do when you have a grease fire on your stovetop is to cover that pan up, all right? If you're going to do any cooking with grease, don't leave the lid to that pan in the cupboard. Take that lid out. That's what you're going to use to put a fire out in case that happens, okay? A lot of people have pans that don't have matching lids. I got a ton of them. Anything that's flat and will cover that pan will work just fine. A pie pan, a cookie sheet, a bigger lid for a bigger pot, all of that will be just fine, okay? Now, what I have up here is a burner with a regular pot with about 2 inches of corn oil, okay? I got no fancy stuff in there to make big fire. This is exactly what you guys are using at home, okay? The burner under the pot is huge just to speed this process up. Other than that, it's a regular pan, 2 inches of corn oil, okay? Now, is it burning? Raise your hand if you have a fire extinguisher in your kitchen. This is a wonderful fire extinguisher for anyone to buy at home, okay? It's a 2A 10BC dry chem. But in the business, this is a 5-pounder, okay? A 5-pound fire extinguisher. You can buy them at Menards, Lowe's, fire safety, equipment supply shops. You can get the cheap plastic ones that are this size, just cheaply made. That's fine, as long as it's functioning. We like fire extinguishers. We don't care if they're the cheap ones. What's nice about spending the extra money on one of these, it's a metal case, metal valve, it's heavier duty. This can be serviced and recharged and reused over and over, okay? We have different but the same fire extinguishers in service here that are from the 1960s. So it's good to spend money on a good extinguisher. But regardless, 5-pound fire extinguisher. What do we all do with our fire extinguishers?
We put it out.
We put it in a cabinet, don't we? Behind the garbage can. That's fine. Mark where it is. I guarantee you when your kitchen starts on fire, you're probably not going to remember where it is, okay? When you buy these, most of them come with a sticker. It's like a smaller version of the big fire extinguisher signs you see at Target that point to where they are. You can put that sticker on your cabinet door. It's a good reminder, okay? These are wonderful. I've seen these stop more fires than these. This is called a Stovetop fire stop. You can buy like a set of 2 of them for $7 or something like that. They're very cheap, okay? These are full of the same white dry chemical that these fire extinguishers have in them. It has a magnet on it. You stick it underneath your stove and you forget about it until you light your stove on fire. There's a wick in here, just so you know when these go off, it's rather violent. It pops and explodes open, okay? And it disperses that chemical and puts your fire out. And all you have is a mess to clean up and you don't have to stay in a hotel that night, okay? Just another heads up, when these open up, these are like pop can tabs. These are like razor sharp, these little fins. Stovetop fire stop. One of the best things I've ever seen invented, okay? Now, our oil's burning. Watch what happens when we slide a pan over the top of it. Nothing, because our oil is way hotter than it should be. Okay. Right. We overheated our oil. Now even a pan's not going to stop it. I promise, when you put a cookie sheet over the pan, it will stop the fire. If you remove that cookie sheet, it's going to start burning again, even if you turn the burner off. Okay? That's why we cover it with a pan and leave it there. The absolute last thing we want to do is put water on it. Why don't you come on down, Mike? Why don't you grab your water? Again, this is 2 inches of corn oil. This is like a cup to a cup and a half of water. Okay? This is a big metal trailer and we can do this and have fun with it. Normally this is your 60-year-old kitchen cabinet. So, earlier this summer we had a female who was cooking in her kitchen and she lit her oil on fire by accident. The first thing she thought of was, I'm not going to burn my house down today. So what she did was she grabbed her pan that was on fire. I don't remember if she tried to put a lid on it or not. And she picked it up and tried to take it outside through her kitchen, down a staircase and out the front door. The problem is this happened. And then she spilled it on herself. And then she dropped it. And she turned one fire into 3 or 4 fires. My partner, who's not here, when we pulled up to the front yard, she was standing on her porch. The skin was falling off of her hands and legs. So please, for the love of God, don't put any water on your grease fires. Okay? Is she alive still? She's still alive. Cover up your pan, turn your burner off, leave it alone, and call 911. That's all we need to do. Okay? We don't need to fight the fire. All we need to do is snuff it out and let it cool down. Okay? Any questions?
No.
Thank you. Question? The most common cause of fire? The most common cause of fire, they take turns being number 1 and number 2. Cooking, smoking. Cooking, smoking. Candles is usually number 3. Okay? I like candles. I'm a candle guy. I work with guys who aren't candle guys. They cut the wicks out, put them on display only. Candles are fine as long as they're around and never. Okay? Any other questions? How about you? What's that? Nope, just smoke. Thank you, everybody. We're going to do this again in like 45 minutes.